Many of you know Extendo as a cost-effective way to configure and customize and extend Sage 300. You can use it with Sage 300 core modules, and one of the big benefits of Extendo is that all configurations and scripts are held within your Sage 300 database. While it is beyond the realm of this presentation to go through all the functionality of Extendo, in the context of import, we generally we have to write scripts to tailor the import to the requirement, and so that requires Extendo Developer and custom scripts. Best practices for import include, first, we'll start with an Extendo module. We would generally include configuration options around the import in a custom table. There are different ways to run the import. You can run it from the Sage 300 UI, so from the Extendo script screen, or you can add it to the desktop, or you can use it in Process Scheduler Level 1 if you need to run an attended regularly. In the scripts, you can use Python libraries, and there's a relatively new feature of Extendo, which is the ability to include an add pip in your script to install the packages automatically. Extendo also comes with some functions that help you create records, so we'll look at those. In many cases, you would use CS queries to read the data as efficiently as possible to process the import, but we recommend that you always use the views when you're inserting or updating records. It's often a good idea to add logging to these import scripts, and we have some examples on the website in the Extendo scripts. One is a sample script to import GL transactions, and in the demo mains module that you can find in the product download area, there are examples to create purchase requisitions. So let's start with Extendo module. Let's start with having a look at the Extendo modules screen. In this example, we have already imported the modular conversion to document management link, and we can see that we're running version 1.3. It's got an ID, so when you're creating a new module, you insert a new record and give it an ID. And from then on, anything that you want to include in your application, you would use the ID in the name. So here our script name includes dmlconv dot. Our custom table also includes the module name. And one of the main advantages of using a module is you can easily export, which will create a file that you can then import into another database. So it makes your deployment and your ongoing maintenance much easier. You can move between your development environment, your UAT, and your production server quite easily. So a reminder that the Extendo scripts and everything that is part of the Extendo module is stored in the database, so you don't necessarily need separate backups. But if you wanted to do a backup of your module file, you can export and you'll have the .vi folder that was sent to you in the first place. From the module screen in the latest product updates, you can navigate to all the components of your module. So from here, I can double click and view the content of my custom table. And custom tables are a very useful part of Extendo in general, but in particular of import projects, as they can be used to store configuration option, like we're doing here in the modulo to DML conversion. We're using different field types in here. For example, you can have integer, which has a list of values. So in this case, it's just yes and no, but you could have other drop-down values. Now, to update the values in your custom table, you can use the default table editor. So we'll open this again from here and create your record in here. Or in the context of this module, we've actually written a script. And when you run that script, as you may remember, I can choose some options And when I close the screen, I'm prompted to save the changes. So we've written a screen that acts as both a way to save your configuration record and to do the processing. Might take a little summary here of what we've looked at so far. A reminder that modules are very important topic in terms of customization in Extender in general and imports in particular. We can use custom tables to store our configuration tables and also in integration projects where we push the data into the custom table and then we have a script that reads this data and processes it and sets it to OK or error. In terms of running the import scripts, there are three main methods. First one would be to run the script from the Extender script screen, which is what we've looked at now. To do this, the users need to have run scripts rights in Sage 300 Security. You can also add the script to the Sage desktop. And by default, this applies to all the users, but the script can do some user-based validation if need be. You can also use Process Scheduler Level 1 if you need to run unattended on a regular schedule. So let's look at a few examples. Our modular conversion to DML app, we're running it from here, or we could also run it directly from the script screen. So I click Run, click Convert, and the processing will take place. You need to select the script that you want to add to the desktop. So let's say we want to add the modular 2DML script to the desktop. We right click on it and say Add to Desktop. And we can choose where we want it to go. So we could put it under Extender Setup, for example. Give it a name. Click OK. Restart the Sage desktop. My icon is here. And if I check on the module screen, on the menu items, I can see that the script has been added to the desktop. I can also run the script in Process Scheduler. For this, you need Process Scheduler Level 1. You configure it as per the Process Scheduler documentation. We create a schedule, select Run Extender Script as the action, select the company, and select the script, in this case, remoteaction.polar. There are quite a few details on the website with and on the knowledge base with examples, Python example scripts to be run with Process Scheduler. The main thing is to make sure that those scripts do not include any message box when they run from Process Scheduler, as this could make it appear like it is hanging. Now, in many cases, the scripts that the scripts to import require the use of Python libraries, and that's one of the big advantages of using Extender and Python is you have access to all the resources on to all the Python libraries that are available. And fairly recently we added the ability to include to download and install a package on the fly using @pip in a script, so makes it easier to use those Python libraries in an Extender script. So you can use, for example, if you're importing from Excel, you can use the OpenPY Excel library. You can use ODBC if you're importing from other applications. You can use some web services applications if required. So we'll look at an example of this. You can see here we're importing those two libraries from pip on the fly. If we look at our, I'm just going to choose view this time. If we look at the modular one, we are using the pathlib library, which is installed with Extender, and we're also using ORCID tools. So that's a reminder that we also have the ability to import other scripts that have been already imported in the database. So we've got that ORCID tool script in here. It includes some common functions and classes to assist with processes. In this example, I think we use it for logging. So we can import a script within a script. And this is all documented here in the help in more detail than what I've shown you today. So you can import your Python package and import a script within a script. Something else that is really useful in the context of importing is that Extender actually includes some classes to create records in Sage 300. We have documented here an example to create AP invoices, and all those helper classes I found in your Sage install. They are found in your Sage install in the VI69A folder. Seeing here some PO return, PY, so in PO, OE, Information Manager. So it's not just the Sage core modules, it's also some ORCID modules. IC transfer, GL batch, bank entries, AP and AR transactions. And an example of this is in our GL import. So here, if I look at this script, you can see that it's saying import GL batch. So that is making use of this helper function that is in the VI folder. The next relevant tip for, in general, but in particular when importing records, is we find that CS query is very useful. So, in particular when you're reading a lot of data, it can be much faster than typical standard browse and fetch. So in the DML modular conversion, we're using CS query to read the records that are in modular e-image pack. So we've got the SQL query here, and then we're using CS0120, so the CS query view, to actually read the data and do the processing, and then use the Python pathlib library to move the files around. And again, there are quite a lot of examples and tips on the website and in the help on how to use CS query efficiently in a script. The other thing we can look at in this app is all the logging. So we've configured logging using our ORCID tools class. So I won't get into the details, but I will show you where the loggings is generally saved, and it is generally in your shared data folder in your company. If we look at this database, we have all the loggings relating to remote action, for example. Let's now put it all together in an example to import GL transactions. Partners can access the Extender scripts examples on the ORCID website, and there is an example to import GL records. That module includes a Python script that has a screen with a browse button to select the file you want to import, has a custom table which contains the default path where the files are to be imported from, and we've added the script to the GL transactions menu. So this requires the Extender Developer Edition, and it is available here on the ORCID website. So let's look at it in Sage 300. We've got an Import GL Transactions button here on the in the GL Transactions section. So I've imported my file here. It includes the script, a custom table for the parameters. You can double click on it and open the table editor. I have set the path to be this folder, and it's been added to the menu under GL transactions. So now when I run this script, I can browse to find my file, enter a description, prompted to confirm I want to import. It's created a batch, and I can then open the batch to check. We have added some validation, so if I tried to import one that has some wrong values, missing GL account for example, it's pre-validating, finding some errors and telling you which accounts don't exist in the GL. So you can go and update your spreadsheet, add the accounts, and try again. So we've looked at some best practice examples for imports. Most of what we've discussed here today in the context of import is built on resources that are available on the ORCID website. When you're logged in to the website as a business partner, you have access to all these resources, in particular the Extendo sample scripts, product downloads that you're familiar with, our video libraries, our training guides, and the online help. Specifically regarding the Extendo app to convert Modulo eImagePack to document management link, you can find some information on their detailed description of the Modulo eImagePack app. And if you go to the overall marketplace, you'll see all the different apps that are available for various Sage 300 core modules like AR, AP, bank services, general ledger, etc., as well as some that specifically apply to ORCID modules like EFT processing, ORCID notes, or process scheduler.